welcome to another episode of Singing Solo Solomon. In today's show, we're going to present the motif of flying, and with me today is actor Justin playing as Mr. Smith in the book. Hello, Justin. How you doing? So, tell me about flying in the book.
Well, many people disappear in the book by flying and crazy stuff.
Yeah, the author must have been something while writing this book, right?
But we used the motive of flying to symbolize a means of escape for the characters.
And do you think this is for the better or the worst of the character?
Honestly, both. Since all the characters have different backgrounds and intentions.
Very well. How about we take a look at Mr. Smith's dad at the very beginning of the book when he tried to fly off Mercy's hospital.
I'm Mr. Smith. We're gonna fly.
Poor Mr. Smith. So let's talk about his death.
I mean, his life isn't really well described in the book. All we know is that he works for a black insurance company.
But why was he trying to fly or escape?
Well, he wanted to accomplish something very hard to do. That is to fly, but he fails. He seemed like he had a lot of determination and faith to get far in life.
I mean, as we may have noticed, only certain people can fly in the book, and in this case he flew, but it caused his death. In other cases, it does not turn out that bad, and this says not all people can be successful in life in the book, right?
This reflects how hard it is to accomplish things. We can look at it from a different way too. He does not have a great life, so he commits suicide, which is covered with his flying attempt. But we all know that flying by himself is not possible, and at the time the book took place, and so why would he do it in the first place?
So in this case, flying is as a means of escaping by acquiring a quick death. Now, we cannot say the same for all the characters that die because of flying. For example, Milkman. Milkman's grandfather, Making Dead One, as Pilot describes, he was blown up 5 feet into the air. I mean, these guys exploded him and made him fly. Let's take a look at his death scene. So, what do you think?
Well, it's a very chaotic death. In this case, he's blown up, which caused him to fly 5 feet into the air.
I think in this case his departure, escape, is portrayed as something good. His story is of a hard-working man that accomplishes to be successful. We know how he owns this enormous farm, and sadly he's murdered outside of it because he's a big threat to a big, white, powerful family. That means a lot.
Well, you know, we can see him as a martyr because he was a powerful, great man, went against the social norms of black people being weak. Also motivates Mac in death to become rich.
I agree. His great-grandfather was a powerful man, and as his milkman finds out in Danville town, everyone looked up to his grandfather. So we can conclude that the involvement of flying in his death represents his transition into reaching a saint-like figure.
In contrast to that, Milkman's great-grandfather Solomon accomplishes to fly away, which can be seen as described as a magical thing.
So magical, he drops his kid Jake while flying. How did he even survive that? Ouch! Anyhow, let's take a look at his amazing escape. That is such a heartbreaking goodbye. Poor wife.
Rena now has to take care of 20 children by herself. Solomon is a
God.
coward for fleeing like that.
In this scene, we can appreciate the ultimate way to get away from your problems. This for all of you husbands out there that don't like your marriage.
Oh, Gene. In this case, flying is definitely used as a means of escaping the harsh circumstances of life. Also, if it wasn't because he dropped that kid, his story wouldn't have happened.
You know, we can also look at this event from a less negative point of view. The fact that Solomon spins around and then flies away gives him a mythical appearance, implying that he was sort of God.
Yeah, also the dead so far are deaths that have a holy aspect.
Nice observation. Let's take a look at the death of the remaining dead.
Okay. Wow, the saddest death in the book so far.
Definitely. I'm glad there was no flying or blowing in this scene. Imagine Pilot having her brains blown out.
Yikes! But you're wrong about the flying involvement. Pilot resembles the word pilot. She is one that controls the flying.
Oh wow, right. Pilot mimics a pilot in the book, in the sense that she controls her own life. She's an independent woman going against women's stereotypes in the book. She defies them.
Yeah, she's great for this and more. She also helps and guides many characters in this book. She is not controlled, but she controls.
And here we have it again, the holy aspect of her death. Someone great dying, or a pilot down.
Yeah. We also missed the fact that a bird picked up her left ring from the box that she left it in after she died.
This birth truly emphasizes the fact that her death involves flying, and that she is flying to heaven after having such a holy death and honest life.
You're right. Her death reminds me of the Soldier Down. When Pilot gets shot and then Milkman holds her head and looks her in the eyes and then passes away.
Same, just so tragic. But talking about Milkman, on that last scene, Joe just described, he flew to try to confront Guitar, who had a gun. Then the book ended. What do you think happened to him?
To be frank, I think the same as the other deads.
How about we show this dramatic scene?
Okay.
Like you said, I think he's gonna die. As the book describes, he jumps off of Solomon's leap trying to give himself away to Guitar. And well, Guitar having already killed Pilot and others, what makes us think he won't do the same to Milkman?
Also, all the deads learn to fly and just disappear. The only way for Milkman to disappear is to die.
On that, all the deads learn to fly because they have accomplished something great in their life. Sort of like met their destiny, and then they die as an act of holiness or greatness. Milkman accomplishes to find his family roots in himself. This is his destiny. So it's time for him to go.
Totally agree with that. Milkman dies afterwards.
An amazing life he had trying to find himself. Struggling with personal and relationship issues. Anyhow, Justin, it was a pleasure having you today in the show.
No problem, Gene. It was a pleasure connecting this puzzle.
Thank you for watching, and come back next Tuesday at